Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg is co-chairman of the Center for American Security at AFPI, a former national security advisor to Vice President Pence and President Trump, also now a Fox News contributor. General Kellogg, thank you for being in focus today. You know, I said that the truth matters. I've heard you say it too. What are some truths that we need to know about our departure that are important to the American people?
Yeah, well, Harris, thanks for having me. You know, there's a lot to unpack in this whole departure in the last few weeks that are out there. You know, I remember the Charles Dickens novel, you know, Tale of Two Cities, and the opening lines, it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. And I think we're in the worst of times right now. Because what you're seeing, it's an abject departure. It's a debacle of historic proportions right now happening in Afghanistan and what happened with us. Look, I've got to address what General McKenzie said. I have no idea why I would say that. People need to remember that the Taliban was responsible for external security outside the perimeter of the airfield. The security that allowed a suicide bomber to come in and kill 13 great servicemen of the United States of America. Don't forget that. And we shouldn't forget about the accountability going forward with this either. So I wouldn't give any credit at all to the Taliban at all. I mean, they're still, to me, they're still the enemy.
Yeah, you know, I've been following social media, those former military members that I'm close to, through my dad mainly, who served. And I've been watching their words. They're very close to you. It's like, don't get confused about who we're dealing with here. And we still have Americans there who we're talking to. They want to come home.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, what's bothersome to me is that we had a date certain, 31 August, and we were out of there. But the President of the United States just, what, a week ago on ABC News said we would move the date if there were still Americans there. Well, we have admitted there are still Americans there. We have admitted there are still allies there, people who are interpreters for us for over 20 years. And it's just shocking to me that we had a date certain and we walked out the door and we left them at the hands of the Taliban. The Taliban are not friendly people. You know, we've been fighting them for 20 years. We've been trying to kill them successfully, I might say. And then this debacle that you're watching unfold, we just walked away from the battlefield. We walked away from the allies, but more importantly, we walked away from Americans. Even if there was just one American, we should not have left them there.
Do you trust the Qatari government to help us out with dealing with the Taliban? They're said to be the closest to the Taliban. I don't even know what that means. But will they really do that, do you think?
Well, to me, it's been pretty good from the Qataris. They've been helping us during the negotiations out there.
But can they get our people
out?
They
are friendly to the United States of America. No, Harris, that's not going to happen. They're not going to do that at all. It's going to be, they're going to have to figure out on our own how we're going to get those people out of there the best way we can. Wow. Look, we left ourselves in a truly untenable and a terrible position that we've left Americans behind. What bothers me is I would make a prediction here that we're going to see some really horrific stories coming out of Afghanistan. You know, these people that you're sitting there in Afghanistan, they're not Jeffersonian Democrats. These people we've been fighting for 20 years. They have a different code of ethics. They have a different way of looking at life than we do. And we better be prepared for the worst.
Well, most importantly, they have a different way of looking at death than we do. And they want that for us. The Taliban have said that, even as they were so-called helping us and be useful, according to General McKenzie. General Kellogg, thank you very much. So much experience, and you share